Heather Hurt with the NRW Award Nerds Rule the World, and I'm here with Nicole Leier. How are you today, ma'am?
I'm really good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here and chat with you.
Well,
And
thank you so much for being here. Nicole is a writer, director, actress. You're kind of all of the above. You have a nice busy plate. Um, Tell me, what is your favorite thing to do when you're doing commercials or movies or TV?
you know what? It's really interesting because I always say that I kind of became a director or a producer like out of necessity because I wanted to create work. And it changes from project to project. Like on some projects, I'm like, oh man, this is so fun to direct. And then on other projects, I'm like, this is really great. I just get to act and I don't have to worry about all the logistics and all of those things. So yeah, but if I had to, like, if I was pressed to like answer, I'd say probably directing and acting is my two favorite.
I actually was talking to he just debuted with his first film recently. He's like, I became a director because I couldn't find anyone else to do it.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Like that's actually why I like started producing some of my own work because if you want the work, you sometimes have to just make it, you know? Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. So let's talk about your production company a little bit. So Pictures, Black Tree Pictures. For some reason, I'm just terrible at saying everything. So Black Tree
Fine. Black
Pictures.
Tree Pictures.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the production company, I've had it for quite a few years. And recently we just executive produced a film that's going to be coming out on Lifetime, a thriller film, which I'm really excited about. And we really strive to tell unique stories. I'm looking at hopefully diving into, bigger budget films. The ultimate goal for me with Black Tree Pictures is to do something like Reese Witherspoon did, where she has like the IP come in, and then, I love books. And then she, takes those to the streamers and makes them into films. So that would be like an end goal for Black Tree Pictures, but it really is a vehicle for just my creative vision and being able to make the movies that I want to make as a director writer. Yeah.
What is so for an IP, what is your goal? What would be if you could put it out into the universe, you could take it, what would you want to do? What IP would you want to do?
What kind of IP? I think bio stories are very interesting to me. Um, what else would I love to do? I love films that really make people think. There's this amazing new director. He just won a bunch of awards at Cannes. Sean Baker. He did like Red Rocket, those kind of like edgier films. I really love that kind of stuff. So completely different than Reese Witherspoon actually, because she does like all the rom-com and like having like I definitely I strive more like darker, edgier stuff, which I love. I love Quentin Tarantino's stuff. I'm working on a film right now that I'm writing called White Death, which is, a Kill Bill meets Django kind of style.
All
So
right.
that's kind of my vibe of filmmaking is really that heavier, intense stuff.
Awesome. All right, all right. Out there in the world, putting it out there in the world.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So let's talk about Sworn Justice, which was produced for BET Plus, correct?
That's right.
So tell us a little bit. That is the way that it was put out is an adrenaline-filled action film. Explain that. Explain what it is.
Yeah, so I was so blessed and like I'm so grateful to be able to do that. There's not very many female action directors, let alone female Black action film directors. So I was super excited when I got the offer for that. And it is basically like BET's Die Hard, but with a female lead. We had Mishael Morgan, and we got really lucky. We had Vivica A. Fox come out and do some stuff. And there's some scenes in that film that I'm really proud of as a director where, the cast and the crew, they just killed it. There's a few car chases and tricks that we do, multiple fight scenes. So it was a really fun movie to work on and really excited about Mishael Morgan, who is the first female Black Emmy Award winner in Canada of all time. And such an honor to have her as our lead in our film. She's just a really true talent.
That's awesome. As an action director, just in general, because breaking the boundaries of being a female action director, especially a person of color as a female action director.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what what is your favorite part about directing action and thriller? Because there are elements that go in with both.
Yeah, I think just the adrenaline, you prep for so long in pre-production and you have to make sure you know exactly what you're going to be doing and you're working with the stunt teams and the drivers. But once you get to that point and you get to call action, just to really see it come to life. And with Sworn Justice, I'm a co-writer on that film as well. And one of the coolest things I think as a creative is to hear your words being spoken and acted out. Like those fight scenes it's really exciting. It's really cool to see it come to life.
Do you like to be a part of the choreography too? Are you
Oh
more
yeah.
in?
Yeah, yeah. I'm right in there. I used to fight MMA and race cars like back in the day. So I'm like, okay, let's add like an elbow. And I think at one point with one of the stunt guys, I'm like, I really want to see his leg break backwards. And they're like, oh God, Nicole. And I'm like, I just want the audience to feel that it's like a real heavy fight scene and that this amazing, powerful woman is just kicking butt. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm right in there. Maybe sometimes I could hold back and stay away sometimes too.
Nah, nah. No, it's more fun. Boys think that we aren't into that. Oh, we are. We are.
Yes.
Um, so let's talk about some of your other work. You've kind of dabbled in a little bit of everything. You've done romance, you've done sci-fi. What is your favorite thing to write?
Drama. I love writing drama. I love really well acted films that tell stories about people's lives that people can relate to, that just show that we're all human, that make people feel like they're not alone when they're going through really crazy situations. Because, as human instinct, we always feel like our problems are the worst and that we've never been there before. And I think film is really not only this amazing visual tool, which that is a huge part of it, but it's also a tool to allow people who are like alone in their house and they can watch something and then they cannot feel alone. And I think that's really important. And for that, I really love drama. I just love it so much.
That's awesome. It's such a contrast. You're like, I want this girl's leg to go backwards, and the next thing you know, it's I want people to feel togetherness.
Yeah. Until they're angry and then they want to break something and then let's break all the stuff.
There you go. It's an emotional roller coaster. You got to feel
Yeah.
everything. What is so you've acted in commercials. Can you tell me a little bit about Black Chicks? I saw that on your resume and I'm like, I need to know more because it's literally you acted in this or sorry, you directed in this, and it was just like, tell me more.
Yeah, so I actually was the star of that film. I didn't direct it.
Oh,
Oh wow, there's a thumbs up. That's cool. And I executive produced that. And Neil LaBute, who is an amazing writer that a lot of actors just his writing is just incredible. He was working on a show called Van Helsing, and I had the opportunity to get in touch with him and pitch him this idea of making this short film. And I didn't really think he would go for it. Like, he's big, he's famous, he's done like huge stuff, but he did. He went for it. And so we pulled together an amazing camera team. We had Brendan Ugama as our cinematographer. He's done MGM's Child's Play, he's done Riverdale, he did Chucky. And so we were really lucky to get him. And then he had this idea to shoot it in black and white, which is just like another layer to that onion of telling the story. But in my work as a producer and as an actor, I feel like that's one of my pieces that I'm the most proud of because of the story that it tells and the way that it makes the audience think. I won't say too much until people watch it and then they can send me their questions and answers. But yeah, I really loved that project. It's very dear to my heart.
so tell people where they can watch it then, because I apologize. I haven't had a chance to, but I'm definitely
No.
going to watch it. Like I saw it once again, I saw it on your resume and I'm like, need to watch. So where can people go and find that?
Yeah, I think for some reason it got taken off it was just on my Instagram, like on my reels, because it's only a 13-minute film. It's a short film. But I think it is on YouTube now. So they can see it on YouTube. And if you just Google Black Chicks, Neil LaBute and my name, it'll come up.
Absolutely. And we'll have a link down below. So
Cool.
go check it out. Definitely. And once again, I'm definitely doing it. It looks really cool.
Thank
Um, so when you do, so once again, you've kind of done a little bit of everything. What is the big difference between like doing a commercial, other than length and time? What is the big difference between doing like just acting in a commercial and acting in a film or in television?
Yeah, well, doing a commercial, you're really portraying this, you're selling a product. At the end of the day, whether you want to admit that or not, you're really there to sell a product. So it's very glossy, it's very shiny. And that comes to the acting too. You're always portraying that image of whatever the client has written or wants for the product. And so it's a little less, I would say, artsy. And then acting, in feature films and getting to tell those stories, it's just such a artist's dream, right? Because you get to dive and play and tell a story and you're playing with emotions. Where in a commercial, you're really showing this perfect world. So it is very different. The two worlds are very, very different. Fun for directing too. Like when you're doing a commercial, you get all the toys, you get to like go out and do all the stuff and make it shiny and beautiful. And then when you're doing a film, you're really telling a story and diving deep into emotions. I guess that's what it is. Like if you ask that commercials, there's a little less emotion. You're selling something, and with feature films, there's emotion and feelings involved.
When you're directing a commercial, do you like to do the more storytelling-esque ones though, or do you like to just get the flash and dance? Which one are you?
I mean, it's fun. Okay, like let's not lie. Like shooting a commercial with like a techno crane and like doing like all those, like that's really fun. But it's always fun working with actors and like being an actor. It's like they're always so much fun. Um, what is my favorite? I would say feature films over commercials. Yeah. I mean,
Makes
but like commercial money is great too. I'm not going to turn down a commercial if it comes my way.
I was gonna say you're probably not saying no to that next Lexus commercial. And you're
No,
probably
no, no.
so then we're kind of doing this interview a little bit backwards. Let's now talk about just you as a human. We've talked about some of your work. How did you really come into this line? Because it's once again, you have an incredible filmography. So how did you get to where you are today?
Yeah, my story is really different than most people. So I actually left home at a really, really young age. I'm a high school dropout. I never went to film school, and the film industry really saved my life. So when I left home at a young age, I knew that I wanted to be in film. And I did get really lucky through a series of events. I was able to meet my first agent, and within 2 or 3 months, I ended up booking a TV show for 5 years, which I was just acting. And I had no idea really that there was the possibility for me to work behind the camera and create my own work. I was just too young and I was just trying to survive and get food on the table and have a roof over my head. But through the years of being on film sets and working with different people and really having a lot of amazing crew members around me, and working as a stand-in for a while, I had to do that. It's not just wake up, I want to be a director, you get to be a director. There's lots of in-between stuff that you have to do, and there's lots of up and downs. So for a while, I worked as a stand-in, which really enabled me to learn my lenses, my cameras, and discover this whole new world of directing and being behind the camera, which opened up a lot of opportunities for me. And then I just kept going. Perseverance and consistency were really my best friend and still really are my best friend. In the morning, you have to get up and do the work.
Absolutely. What
Yeah.
one day at a time, just keep going though. Sounds wonderful. All right, last really, really big question, an important one. Tell us what you can about your current work.
Yeah, so I have a new film coming out that I executive produced alongside Monique Coleman, which I'm very, very excited about, and also directed this film. And then the producers, Rebecca and Miles, were so lovely to allow me to act in the film as well. So it's my first time directing and acting myself, which I'm very excited about. And it's a really cool thriller film, and I think that's about all I'm allowed to say. So yeah, so that'll be out later this year. Yeah, yeah, have to wait and see. Have to check back in with me on that.
Absolutely. Well, we will happily review it and look at it when it's out. Um, What is it like? I guess I know I said one last question, but now I'm curious. What is it like to direct yourself?
You know, it was extremely difficult. It was my first time. You always dream about it. You know, like as an actor director, you're like, yeah. And I had visions of, The Handmaid's Tale, the lead, she like directs and acts in a lot of those episodes, and you see them and they're posting stories and she's like, it's so great, but they're such a big budget show. And my film that I was acting directing was around just under 2 million. So, we don't have the same resources or the same time. It always comes back to time. And I loved it. It was the most exhilarating, exciting, scary, stressful, amazing experience of my life, and I can't wait to do it again. So it was a lot of different things. Yeah.
Every emotion. That means
Every emotion all within 10 minutes for 3 different scenes or however many scenes we shot over and over again.
it sounds like fun though. It sounds like you enjoyed it. So
I loved it so much. Like it was just the coolest thing to be able to tell the story in the way that you imagined it and see it come to life. And then to what you're really doing is jumping between your technical brain and your creative brain, right? Because directing is on one side and acting's on the other. So switching it is really what you're playing at when you're directing and acting at on the same time.
do you ever catch yourself like accidentally stopping to be like, wait, no, I need to change something up, and then you're like, oh wait,
Oh
I'm in the middle of
yeah.
a screen. I see.
Oh, I'm a firm believer of like once the director calls action, like just keep going because you never know what you're gonna get. So I never stopped, even though I wasn't looking at the monitor, but I definitely did go again. Like, and I had my amazing first AD and Miles, my producer, watching, and I was like, whoa, what's that? That's
Ma-
cool. I'm so sorry. I don't know why that
no,
happened.
it's okay. It's the Mac. It's Siri. She's just having fun with you.
Oh, okay, cool. Watching behind the monitor and, I'd just be like, hey, what'd you think? And they're like, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, let's go again. So it's working with people you really trust truly to keep an eye out for things. And yeah, a
Awesome.
lot of collaboration.
Well, we will definitely keep our eye out. Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time today, Nicole.
Thank you.
Tell all the humans out there where they can find you.
Yeah, I think the best place to find me is probably on my Instagram. It's just Nicole G Leier, is the handle, and that's pretty much it. I don't do much other social media.
Okay. All right. And definitely keep an eye out here on our platform. Like, subscribe, share, all of those important things. And we will have Nicole's the link to the video, as well as her handle down below. Thank you guys. And thank you, Nicole. Everyone have a wonderful day.